Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 12 hearings in child abandonment court with parents who are before a judge because they aren't supporting their children. We will hear all sorts of excuses for why they haven't been paying, including a man with $27,000 in arrears who has the audacity to ask the judge to order his ex to stop filing for abandonment because this is wasting everybody's time. Let's see what the judge thinks.
All right, let's pull up their case. I'll tell you, I have this new monitor, but I am perplexed how to get the mouse to come down to my computer. It's weird. I know it's an extension. There we go. I got it. Okay. Hi, guys. Give me one moment to pull up your case, please. The position 10, PP-055240. All right, if both of you can unmute and raise your right hands for me, do you swear testimony you're about to present to the court will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Okay, so last time we were in court, September 22nd, I was teasing Mr. Thompson about having 10 children and 3 with mom in court before me. And anyway, you're going to try to pay $300 per pay period you work for Subway. And in this case, as a criminal, as to my determination is whether or not to issue a criminal warrant for your arrest. And let's see, the last payment, you have been making payments. You paid $200 in August, and we were in court in September, I believe. Hold on. Well, we came twice. First time we were in court in July, and then we came back in September. In September, I told you to start paying because you were working at Subway. And so we didn't receive any September payments, but we did receive 2 payments. Well, I think we received October, you paid $251.50. And then November you paid $301.50. So at least we're receiving something toward the child support. And that means that you're not paying what you're supposed to pay, but working at Subway, I don't see with 10 children, I'm not sure why you're still paying, $600 a month. That seemed, well, you have 3 children, maybe that's why. So in this case, you are paying half of the child support approximately. Have you made the payment for December yet, Mr. Thompson?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So how are you navigating making sure that you pay? It looks like you're trying to pay $250 to $300 a month. How are you navigating making sure that you pay that consistently?
Okay, so with my monthly payment, like my average, I kind of estimated like my average with what I get paid and my rent, which is $1,300, and then getting back and forth to work. So I kind of average it out for now until I get something better where I could pay more.
Okay. So how I think this is the only child support order that you have in court, right? The rest of them you're just paying voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
Uh,
go ahead. What?
Could I ask a question? I'm not sure if you could answer. I want to ask something about driver's license or something. Is it somewhere where I could probably get I heard someone was telling me like a conditional driver's license, because that would help me out a lot more. I would be able to get back and forth, to work, or probably get a better job, because I am paying for Lyft and Uber sometimes when I'm not be able to get dropped off to work.
Okay, so what?
And then, back.
I don't know when you started working, but generally if you get a new job and if we could take the money directly out of your paycheck, then they will reinstate your driver's license. Have you? I'll let.
I checked his driver's license and it seemed like it was okay, but let me check again just in case.
Yeah.
I don't I don't have a driver's license.
Well, hold on.
It said there's an override date, meaning they did not suspend it on 3/17/22. Does not indicate that it's suspended.
So, Mr. Thompson, your license is not suspended. Why don't you go to the driver's license DMV, and child support didn't
Not from
suspend.
us anyway.
Yeah, somebody else
Oh,
could have suspended.
oh, I don't have a license in Georgia. When I went there, they had said, I have a child support case that have it suspended, so I'm not sure what happened.
Not
think
according
I
to this
don't know.
record.
It sounds as though it was suspended, but they overrode the suspension. So your license has been reinstated since March 2022. So my recommendation is you go right down there, double check, or you can go online and log in. I think it tells you. And then you could go get your license in Georgia. And if so, then that'll probably, let you pay more towards your child support payment. Like you said, you can get a better job, make more money, and provide support for all of your kids. So because in order for me to dismiss this case, you're paying half and you're making payments, or you're trying to pay half. I can't issue a warrant, but I can't dismiss the case either because it has to be closer to the 600, meaning, paying 150 a week. I know it's a lot with 10 kids, or it's got to be closer. I can't reduce your child support order, but it has to be closer to what the order is for you to pay before I could reduce it. I can't issue a warrant, but I can't dismiss it until I see that you're consistent, continuously consistent, and you need to get it up a little bit more. So I cannot issue a warrant if you're doing your best to pay what you're paying, considering 10 children. So that's about where I am. I need you to try to make that payment a little bit higher. I don't know if you can, once you get your license reinstated, maybe you can make a better payment, save the Uber and Lyft, get it up to $450 or something like that, and try to break the payments up per pay period. I always tell you that it's easier than just trying to pay a lump sum. If you get paid twice a month, divide it in two and try to make two payments instead of trying to make one lump sum payment.
I'm trying. Okay.
So the purpose is, yeah, you are trying, and I see that. And you have an extensive arrearage over the years, and you're going to be paying child support for the rest of your life pretty much, because you still pay it even though the child turns 18 for this child. But you're paying, and I can't issue a warrant, but I have to keep monitoring the case. I know it's not sufficient, Mom, trying to get it up there. I mean, somebody works a Subway and has 10 children. It's not your responsibility, because I think he only had 1 or 2 children before you had your 3 children with him. Where did he work when you were with him, Miss Wallace?
When I was with, am I, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, he was a manager at a restaurant here in New York, like the general manager.
Oh, wait, you live in New York?
No, we lived in New York when we met.
Oh, but you live in DeKalb now. Okay, because you said here in New York, so I thought you were still in New York. I'm like, wait, we can't handle the case this way.
Oh,
all right.
We met in New York, and he was a general manager of a restaurant in New York.
Okay, so I think that's what Mr. Thompson is saying. If he could get his license, drive, he can get a better job, and he can get back to paying what you deserve, which is the full amount. But at least he's paying something right now, which is, I know it's not the full amount, but I'm not going to issue the warrant. Let's hope he gets his license, gets a better job. If you're GM once, you can be a GM again, and then, then he can provide more money and support. So I'm not going to issue the warrant today. Mr. Thompson can try to get it closer to 400 temporarily. I'm not going to issue the warrant because you are making monthly payments that are, again, I just need it to be closer to 400 temporarily. I'm not reducing your child support payments. I just want to emphasize that I didn't create it. I can't reduce it, but I cannot issue a warrant. I will not issue a warrant if I know you're doing your best to substantially comply with the amount that the Superior Court judge set for your order. Do you understand that? I don't ever want a father leaving saying, oh, she reduced my child support. No, I didn't. I'm just saying, as long as you substantially comply and pay as much as you can, I will not issue a warrant.
Correct.
Okay.
Understood.
All right. So we're in review status. Please do not miss. I know you have 10 kids, but please do not miss your December payment, and please do not miss your January payment, because I need to make sure. I know it's holidays, but gifts for kids are not more important than providing the child support. Okay.
I know. Could I say something? Ask a question, Miss Your Honor?
Yes, sure.
So if she lives in Jersey and I'm in Georgia, how would I go about? Because I'm not.
Wait. She's saying she lives here in DeKalb County.
No, she don't. She been moved. She lives in Jersey.
Yeah, you just said that, Miss Wallace. You said here.
He does not know what he's talking about.
Well, you just said here. You said here as though you were in another.
He does not know what he's speaking on. My children live in Jersey with my mother.
Oh, well,
I had to send them to Jersey to stay with my mother. I currently live in Georgia. He does not know what he's talking about because he does not see nor has he seen my children since April of this year. So
well, how long have the kids, because the abandonment warrant is where the children live with.
And I filed, this case was filed and the abandonment order was filed when the children and I still lived in Georgia and the children were still in Georgia. That was in August.
Okay, so are they living with your mom now?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I filed the abandonment order, I believe, in May. And we got the first case in August.
So, well, the thing is, for a criminal matter, the children have to live with you in DeKalb County. You can still file this, but it has to go a different route.
I'm sorry.
The children have to live with you in the county for the prosecutor to prosecute the case. Are your kids going to be coming back anytime soon?
Yes, I am working on bringing my children back. I went through some financial struggles because I am a single mother with 3 children. So for the best interest of my children at the time, because I was not receiving any help or support from him and I was going through my own financial hardship, I had to send my children somewhere to my mother where they could be taken care of. So I'm in the process of getting my own self back together to get a new place and bring my children here. He does not speaking on.
Okay, stop.
I don't think that that's even appropriate.
Wallace, when I say stop, that means stop. Okay, fine. I'm going to keep the case open because your kids are coming back. I'm not going to close the case out. I'm going to reset the case in February so I could look at what you're doing, Mr. Thompson. So I'm expecting that continuous payment. I expect that payment to be made in December, January, and I'm going to get an update on the case in February. And I'm wanting you to try to increase it, at least in January and February, increase it to 400 if you're able to do so. And we will see you guys on February 23rd.
Correct.
And I'm going to keep the case open, Ms. Wallace, okay? Okay, you're welcome. All right, guys. But if you do move, there's a different way to do it because it goes through the district attorney's office. If you end up moving to New York or New Jersey yourself, then it's a whole different process, but you can still go through, but it goes through the district attorney's office, okay? If you ever permanently move, just let us know. We'll give you the information on how to do it when there's 2 different states involved, okay? All right, you're welcome. And I don't know why we don't have an income deduction order if he's still working at Subway, Ms. Carson. Any luck on that?
I sent an email asking them to see if they could figure out which Subway and take care of that.
Okay. You want to meet with Mr. Thompson real quick so he can, Mr. Thompson, which Subway are you working? What city?
Which one? Over in Fulton County.
Okay, so can you give us the street address of the Subway? Well, I guess.
Yes, I can.
They're privately owned.
You can send it to me in a chat.
You know how to do the chat?
Yes, I see the chat. And who am I sending it to?
Ms. Carson?
Yeah, should say Jane Carson.
Jane Carson. Okay, say ATTY Carson.
No. Let me look and see what it has for me. Yeah, ATT Carson, yes. That stands for attorney, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sending you the address.
All right. We'll see you guys on February 23rd. That's the reset date. Ms. Wallace will follow up, and Mr. Thompson, I'm expecting those continuous child support payments, and we will send an income deduction order And hopefully by the time we come back, he's got his license, he's got a better job, he's making better money. And I'm sure he wants to make more money, not be stuck working at Subway unless he's running the places for the owner. But we'll see you back on February 23rd. You guys will receive your court notice, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, you guys, happy holidays. You guys are both excused from court.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Oh, yay. Good morning. Okay. Thank you for coming to court. We appreciate that. So, Mr. Let me get back to your case. Mr. Odukoya, you have
Yes.
a child support order for your daughter, who mom is saying you have a really good relationship with her. So I appreciate when dads have good relationships with their children. However, mom still has to provide, the house and everything for your daughter. So you're under an obligation to provide child support. So you have an extensive amount that's past due, and mom explained that you had some 10 years that you had to deal with not being in the community, but your amount is 242 plus 48 extra to pay toward that arrearage, which the total it's about 290. I would just say 300. So the purpose of this hearing is that when you're under an order to pay child support, if you fail to pay, as a judge, I have to decide if there's enough evidence to issue a criminal warrant for your arrest. Because mom's just now filing, I don't readily just go issue warrants. My goal is to get the parties on track, so to continue to have healthy relationships, and you need to start paying your child support through child support. So pretty much that's all it is. My understanding is you do work, and maybe they pay you, not directly through a paycheck. And so you just need to, she's just shared that you do have a job and you work at a restaurant. So I think you're very capable of doing this. We just need to get you to start paying the child support. If you get paid weekly, you voluntarily pay $75 a week. If you get paid twice a month, you pay $150 per, twice a month, and that's it, or $300 a month. And she's never asked for an increase in child support or anything, which is good because it's a lot more now. But I just need to get you on track so I don't have to issue a criminal warrant. I'll hear from you now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, but like you just said, Your Honor, I was incarcerated, and I had a job where the money was actually taken out of my check, and and I've actually been unemployed, and the restaurant gig that I have is like it's not like a regular job per se. They call me in every now and then to work, and at this point, I'm still in the process of looking for a job, and I have and moreover, as far as me being out of the society for all these years, I have a restitution that I'm still obliged to pay as far as that case is concerned. And I mean, even though I don't actually pay child support per se, my daughter gets money from me, whenever she can,
I know.
So
And a lot of dads say that, and I ask mom, but even if you give your daughter money here and there, that's for her, but it's not you're not contributing towards mom household lights, gas, utilities. Those are things that she has to pay for, school. So I need you to divert the money if you want to give your daughter money here or there, but that doesn't count as child support. So I just need to get you on track to start paying the child support directly. Try to pay the child support. So we just need to come up with a plan. So you've been out. When were you released?
I've been out. I left the halfway house like about 2 years or a year and a half ago, something like that, about 2 years ago, I think.
Okay. And you haven't been able to find a job in a year and a half?
I've been working. The money's been coming out of my check, but I lost that job. So I'm in the process of looking for another job.
Okay. Well, with the little side gig that you have, can you just start trying to pay something monthly till you could get a full-time job? Because as long as you pay something that's reasonable, then I don't have to issue a warrant because you have a car. Can you do Uber Eats? Can you do Uber? I mean,
I tried to do the Uber Eats, but I was cut by Uber because my criminal background, criminal record kind of stopped me from that.
So
I was actually doing it.
What type of work field are you normally in?
Well, like marketing, at this point, I'll do whatever I need to do. You know, I've been putting in applications, you know, with different companies, you know. But as far as what I do now with the restaurant, I just, you know, I wouldn't have that much. But I don't, like I said, I still give her money so I could just, you know, redirect that to the mom. But it's not going to be the same amount as far as, you know, it's not going to be that much.
So, well, how,
But, you know,
just, this is not to insult you, but like, how are you paying for your living expenses and your car? How are you paying for those expenses?
the car, well, the car is actually like a gift. It's not like, you know, somebody let me use the car. And the
Okay.
Uber Eats I was doing the Uber Eats. It was like you know, through a rental car program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know, and I couldn't sustain it because I got cut because of my criminal record.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see if, are you in DeKalb County?
Well, I'm in Atlanta now.
You're in Atlanta. Okay. Because I have this employment agency that contacted us and say they really need people. They have high paying jobs, you know, and they mostly warehouse, but they pay good money. And this is the phone number. Do you have the ability to write it down? Maybe you could give them a call.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me double check this number because the other guy said it was wrong. Give me one moment.
Okay.
All right. So I just called the number, and it is a working number. They are hiring. They have jobs paying somewhere upwards of $20 an hour. So at least that could get your foot in the door. You know, you probably have skills and education that you could rise, but you just got to get that job, okay, so that I don't have to issue a warrant. And are you on parole right now?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Are you still on parole?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't want to violate that. I understand there's a lot going on with you, so trust me, I'm going to work with you, but you got to put in some effort. So here's the phone number. It's 470
Uh-huh.
545
545
1087.
1087.
And it's an employment agency, and she said they definitely have the need for people that really want to work.
Yes.
And so if you want to work and you want to get paid well, she's got the opportunity. So you could just tell her that DeKalb County, that you got her number from a DeKalb County judge, and then hopefully you get something going. But I'll give you an opportunity to just, you know, start the new year right. So try to see if you can get a job, and then we'll just reset the case. Let me give them an opportunity. Now that you have your feet to the fire, you have to give the mom the support directly. Okay, don't give it to your daughter. I know she's gonna be upset about that, but you have to give it to mom. Whatever little bit you can give right now, we'll accept temporarily. This is your first time being before a judge, and then we're gonna start. And then I expect within 3 months or so, you're gonna be consistently paying. You'll be able to have the job, but you need to go ahead and get on top of that. And I'll work with you so we don't have to put a warrant out, because then you're going to go back to prison. That doesn't benefit anybody. So
Judge,
that's
it looks
my
like
angle. Yes.
it looks like they've suspended his license as of 12/3.
Uh-oh.
I also sent an email to see if Fulton County Fatherhood Program could get him in.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we have the Fatherhood Program, sir, and that's a program that helps fathers get their license reinstated, because unfortunately, they just suspended your license on December 3rd. And you know they have tag readers, so any time you go by someone, it's going to scan your tag and show your license suspended. Then they're going to arrest you and take your car.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I know, but because they sent it to the notice that was on your driver's license, a lot of people don't even live at that address anymore. So this is not a good situation for you to be in. So my suggestion is try to go park that car very quickly, or you can call child support. Now, you can let them know that, you know, you're going to enroll in the fatherhood program, and that's one basis that they will reinstate your license. And then so you can, you know, get this job hopefully, and then start driving for employment purposes. So it's not an immediate thing though. Miss Carson, you have any ideas? There's really nothing immediate that we can do.
No, he just needs to go down to child support and see if he can get into the program, and money is the only other way to get out of this. I'm just verifying this, that, yep. They did an
Wow.
override on November 11th, and then when they didn't receive any payments, they canceled it on 12/3.
Okay. So your license was just revoked. But I don't know if you want to try to get to the child support office today and tell them that you were in court in DeKalb County for child support abandonment and you'd like to enroll in the fatherhood program and get your license reinstated and see what they're willing to do with you. But I don't know. You know the address to the child support office in Fulton?
No, ma'am. I could try to find out, but I don't have it. I don't know it now.
Miss Carson can give it to you if she has it. Do you
Yeah,
have it?
I don't know it either. I think it's the East Point address, but
Ooh, in East Point.
Is there a phone number?
gonna see if I can find anything.
Did we get his email address, Miss Ford?
Okay.
Oh, ma'am.
I will send it to him in the chat.
Okay, she's going to send you the phone number. And sir, we need your email address, not because we're live on YouTube. I don't want you to give it to me, but we need to get your email so we could send you the next court date. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
But 1 second, let me get the court date here. Do you know how to pay the child support? Since it's been a while, there's a portal you have to download on your phone, and you can, if you know anybody that has a credit card, you can let them make the payment on their credit card, and then you could pay them back, or you could pay directly on your cell phone. And you could talk to child support; they'll help you out with that. But you need to start making some payments, okay?
Okay. So and do I make the payment to her or to child support?
To child support.
Is there? So do I talk to them as far as them like making some adjustment to it? Based on my current situation.
Yeah, so I don't know that they could go any lower than that, to be quite honest with you. But yes, you can go to the East Point. We need to get your email before you leave. I don't know if you can send that. Do you know how to do it in a chat where you could send us your email?
On this live?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. No, you could. They won't see it. I just need you to send it to my clerk, which says Magistrate Court B. Send your email so we can email you the court notice for the next day, which I'm getting ready to pull it up now.
I have one if it begins with ADE.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I can send that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
ADE.
court is reset to the 23rd of February to give you an opportunity to join the fatherhood program. They can reinstate your license. So when you go to the station, tell them to the child support office, tell them you'd like to immediately roll in the fatherhood program, that, I hate to say it, you're a convicted felon and you just need some time to get things together and see if they'll reinstate your license, because they literally just suspended it. And then hopefully they can enroll you in the fatherhood program. It's a really great program to help fathers get reinstated in the community, get on your feet, and then they'll automatically reinstate your license as well. Okay. It's called the fatherhood.
Okay. So this is in Fulton County?
Yes. Yep. You have to go to Fulton County because I think that's where your order is, from Fulton County.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to try to get to the child support office or give them a call.
Daughter, Your Honor, is in DeKalb, but since he lives in Fulton, they'd want him to go to Fulton for the fatherhood program.
Oh, okay. Because he lives in Fulton now. Okay. All right, sir. So that's what you need to do. But we'll see you February 23rd. You're going to receive an email with the notice of the court date. I'd like to get an update if you have any funds, or if you could find something that you could do. If you get that job, as soon as you get a paycheck, please try to pay something, because it shows me as a judge you are trying to provide some support to Miss Taylor. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And even if you get cash money, I can't track that cash money from the restaurant, but if they give you $200, then pay $50 or $60 toward child support, just to show that you're making an effort every time you get some cash. That's what I look for. Is he trying? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Taylor, that's it. We'll see you guys on February 23rd to get an update, since we're just getting this case started in the criminal court, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Only so much we can do. Okay. So position number 7, Denise Lowe and Jonathan Freeman. If I could have both of you turn on your cameras, raise your right hands. Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Freeman, I do show that you've made a payment on 12/7. Oh, this looks like it's an income deduction order.
I think Miss Arena Camarillo might have messed up some dates here. That 12/7 is 22, not 23.
Yeah.
I was getting happy there. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Freeman,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
would mean that you have not made a payment since
And
September.
yes, ma'am, since September.
So what's going on?
So when we appeared on court, the first time we appeared on court, September 15th, I informed you that I have a possible criminal case. There could be a possible warrant for my arrest for a charge of harassing in communications. Back in September 18th, I got arrested. The charge was, the police report basically stated that I called my son's mother, which is Denise Clark, and Essence was on the phone. Denise stated to you that Essence was never on the phone. Essence is my wife who I have a no contact order with. Denise stated to you on that previous recording that Essence was never on the phone and she didn't do anything to set me up. And you stated to me that you don't feel that Denise would do anything to jeopardize the safety and welfare of our child. So you don't believe that she'll go ahead and put me in a situation for that. Well, I got arrested September 18th. I got out on October 25th on an ankle monitor, a bond and an ankle monitor. We met again November 3rd. Miss Clark was not there November 3rd. We met again, and I told you that I have an upcoming trial on November 29th. You informed me that, hey, just because you have these things, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paying for your child. And I agreed to that. However, situation changed. When I went to court on November 29th, Mrs. Clark testified that she did in fact have Essence on the phone. And she went ahead and said things along the lines of, I'm going to kill Essence, and things that she testified all of this inside of court. So it goes back into the original arrest from September 15th. Now, because this has been a on-standing 3-month thing from September all the way to currently, and I've been getting arrested, getting out, getting arrested, cases dismissed, and then going back to get arrested, my money has been drained, and I have to pay lawyer fees in order to stay out. And then I have to pay bond fees in order to get out, as well as pay the ankle monitor fee in order to stay out as well. Due to all of this, due to all of these different allegations and her admitting that she actually did set me up, which subsequently got me arrested back in September when I was starting to make payments. My last payment was in September, then I was arrested the week after over them two setting me up. It kind of put me in a position to where not only I can't make any money, but it put me in a position to where now I have to pay lawyers and pay bonds in order to get out, to get back on track. So as of yesterday, I work for a roofing company. As of yesterday, I've just put a roof back on. It takes about 3 weeks to get a check. I have no issue with making a payment. The only issue was me having to pay all these other people during this process of me trying to get out. I believe that the Mrs. Clark should take some blame, because this charge that I was hit with, that I had to spend almost $1,800 just to fight, as well as an additional money to lawyer fees. And I'm still in debt with these lawyers to get out. If Mrs. Clark, in essence, would have never done what they did, Mrs. Clark would have received money. And there would have been a continuous of payment. While I was incarcerated, I had my TV mount business that I was mounting TVs. So my income has drastically declined due to not being able to be out and provide. Like I said, we just had trial November 29th. There's still an active criminal case that I need to get the recordings of the first time we met on September 15th to help defend me from that criminal case. So now I will not be incarcerated again for being set up by Mrs. Clark and Mrs. Essence Freeman.
Well, why
however,
would you be, you already did time on that, so why would you have to go again?
I had a I'm on bond for that, actually. I had a probationary hearing for violation of probation that I had that hearing for. And that violation probation hearing on November 29th, that's when I found out that Denise did actually have Essence on the phone. And then when Denise started stating that I was trying to kill her and I'm being manipulative and things of that nature inside of the courtroom, that's when I actually found out. Because up until that point, when she told you back on September 15th that Essence was never on the phone, and you said you don't believe that Denise will put me in a situation where it can financially hurt myself or our child. And when she testified that to you, as well as send me multiple messages stating that Essence was never on the phone, at that point, I believed her. What happened when we went to court November for the probation verification, when all that information came out, I now see that, well, she not only did she lie to you, she also lied to another judge as well. And all of this stuff has put me in a position to where I can not pay for my son's childcare or any types of things going with my son, because all of this wasted money, over $1,800, that money could have went to my child. But unfortunately, it had to go to my freedom. So I feel I need a little bit more time, because if Denise and Essence would have never coped up this plan, we would never be able to meet. Because as you see, back in September, when I got out of prison, and even in work release, I still found some way to make a payment. It wasn't until September 18th, when I was arrested, where the payments had initially stopped again. So the only time I haven't paid is when I've been incarcerated. However, now I'm still battling. My freedom is still at jeopardy because of the lies that was told. So that's why I need a copy of the first hearing back in September 15th, where Denise testified, raised her hand, and stated that Essence was never on the phone, so I can go back and counter what she just testified in court with Judge Byers in Gwinnett County, saying that Essence was on the phone, and these were all these things. Unfortunately, I'm not a type of man that abandons his children. My father wasn't there. So I'm going to make sure that my child has everything they need. And if you look through the history of
an unfortunate, that is fortunately,
I
don't want anybody to do that. But let me just, stop you here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you time to get yourself together. I can't testify as to anything that happened, because of course everybody who's in here is just on oath. They're speaking on their own accord, and that is going to have to be handled by another court. I don't know about recordings or whether they can be released. You'll have to, do a subpoena and find out what you have to do with regards to that. But I will do a reset.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes, and I just want to let you know why. He says that there is a check that he will be issued for some roofing work, but it's going to take 3 weeks. So I was going to set this for February the 2nd of 2024 so that we can make sure that that gets paid as well as January. Okay, so go ahead, Ms. Clark.
He's stating that his money has been tied up or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if you've gotten the screenshots that I've sent over in regards to proof of him having been working. I also spoke with child support. They've been trying to reach out to him and get in contact with him in regards to paying the child support. He did say that he has he works for a roofing company, and he also has a side business as an entrepreneur, as you know, for mounting TVs. So if you're mounting TVs, you've been mounting TVs since August. You just recently posted 5 days ago that you've been mounting TVs. Up until this point, also what you don't know is in your Venmo, I can see how much money you've made from mounting TVs. It's public. Venmo is public. So the last 2 people that you've mounted TVs for back in August and September on Venmo, it shows where they've given you money for mountain TVs. So you've had from August, September, October, November, December, minus what has been going on in court, that still does not stop your obligation to pay child support. That's what the judge has said. So you've made this money. So if you mounted 10 TVs, $80 times 10, that's $800. Okay, that's for a basic mount. So then you have 2 other type of mounts. So I'm just going to assume that the other mount is maybe $100. That's $1,000 per 10 TVs. Okay, maybe $125 for that third mount. That's $1,250 for per 10 TVs. So you have no reason or excuse as to why you have not paid child support. She's going to give you time. That is fine. You say 3 weeks. That is fine. But I just wanted to make the judge aware that you have been working. You've been working for this roofing company since August. They have not fired you. You told her back at the last time that we were here that they fired you and you were no longer working for this roofing company, but you've been per what they've said, you've been working for them since August. But that's it. That's okay.
Okay. Okay, so we all understand what page one another is on. So I expect to see everybody here on February the 2nd, 2024, and those payments should have been made. Make sure that they're done 5 days in advance so that we'll be able to see them on the system. Okay, if you do it the day before, we're not going to be able to see it. Okay? Okay.
All right.
Have a Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next I have Brett Mallard and okay, if Miss Howard and Mr. Berry can go ahead and turn their cameras on, please. Okay, and Mr. Berry, okay, there you go. Okay, let me have both of you raise your right hands. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yeah. I do.
Okay. So I am showing that we did get a payment on the 18th of December in the amount of $482. Did you receive that, Ms. Howard?
No, ma'am, not yet.
No?
They said they're supposed to be sending to a card, and I'm supposed to be receiving the card. But the
Okay.
total amount that was I supposed to be receiving was $900. But kind of find out that his first baby mama received my money that you know.
Okay.
And
if that child is under the age of 18, under no control of Mr. Berry, the money's always automatically split. The child support does not look at any one child as being more important than another. So whenever child support is paid, it is going to get split amongst all of the parents that are under child support orders. So, Miss Arena Camarillo, can you tell me, I just want to make sure that that child is under the age of 18 and that that mother has that entitlement?
It looks like that was explained December 21st to the custodial parent in this case. So I think she understands now that the monies will be split.
Okay.
Not really. I still don't understand because basically I have two small babies where I have to pay child I got to pay for child care because CAPS have basically is making us pay child care now. And then my son has ADHD, so I have to get medication for him. And the $456 is owed to me. I need that money. And he is LOLing me, talking about okay, so now that the course is involved, now you're only gonna get $200. He already know this. So basically, instead of him paying for the child that his oldest son, because his daughter's 19 now, so his oldest son, instead of paying for him, because he is staying with him. So basically, I'm like, why am I suffering? And I got to pay child care, and I also have to pay for my son's medication, and it's not, trust me, it's not inexpensive. So
So
is his
DCSS's position, is going to be that minor children are minor children. And so I'm looking at the ages real quick to see when the other one emancipates. Hold on one second. They might be emancipated. Hold on. Let me see. At this point, hold on one second. I've got that the other case, the two kids are emancipated. So one second. The other kids are emancipated.
Okay.
So they have emancipated. So even if they were 17, though, we're always going to treat all three the same, except once they've emancipated, it's different. But I want to go back to your case really quickly. I think it sounds like the only thing we're not on the same page about is the amount of money. We show that the amount of money that was sent in is only $482. So that's the amount that we have that's going to go to your case.
So he said he showed me a receipt from his Apple account, not Apple, I'm sorry, his Cash App account that he paid $901.
So we don't have that in our office.
Well, somebody need to fix that, because if they take
Mr.
the
Berry,
money
that's going to be you. You'll need to go down to child support
I don't need to
office
do
and
that.
speak with
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're saying that when he supposed to pay the 456, I'm getting the full amount of the 456. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you should from now on. If it's two cases that are open, I show that on the other case, both children have emancipated. So what happens is the first amount, whatever he pays, the first amount will go to you, and then the remainder will split. If he paid more than the amount, if he paid $600 in a month, you get the first 456. The remainder will split and go towards arrears equally for both of you.
For her, okay.
Okay. So, and what I typically do in a situation like this is that I'm going to keep you on the calendar one more time just to make sure that your next payment is correct. And Mr. Berry, if you would like to help to facilitate this case being moved along, I'd suggest that you make that trip into child support to make sure that it's being done correctly, because, they may not be aware that those older children are already emancipated. So you want to make sure that they know that, so that this is going to be done correctly. Okay, but we have you scheduled for February the 2nd. And hopefully at that point, if everything is correct, then as long as you are making these child support payments now, are you making these payments individually, or are they coming from an employer?
No, I'm doing it.
You're doing it? Okay, so you have to stay on top of it and make sure that you make these payments, because that's the only way it is going to, well, you're doing it. Did I hear you say, Ms. Howard, that it was that it's Cash App?
Well, no, I went through child support.
Okay, the Cash App through child support. Okay. Okay then.
And basically I haven't received the other one because the $900 was supposed to be for 2 months that he did not pay, that he was behind because he don't have a job at all.
Oh my God.
So basically, as you can hear how he's talking, I don't know if he's gonna get one.
Okay, now
but
let's not get into all of that. So okay, so I'm not sure, I think child support is only seeing how much? Are you seeing a 900?
No, I'm seeing the amount that I indicated on the form, the $482.98.
And that's
Okay,
the amount
so
that I see on mine as well when I look at the information on my app.
okay,
Is the
so Mr. Berry,
$480.
I'd suggest that you also present that information when you go into child support to make sure that the money gets credited correctly. Okay, and I'd suggest that you do that, I'm sorry, quickly, because I don't want that money to accidentally go to the other parent. So I suggest that you call them and get that straightened out immediately, because I can only assume that they have not issued her money either, because Miss Howard has not received hers. So make sure that you take care of that promptly so that there's nothing, because of course we're probably not going to be able to get that money reeled back in once it has been paid, because due to the arrearage in child support, you would owe that as well. Okay, so do you understand what you need to do, Mr. Berry?
Yeah.
And that's the question. Is there a certain time that he has to pay the money? Because like I said, I have to pay the child care for my daughter. I had to take my son out of the child care because I didn't have any money to pay for him. So basically, I was wondering, is there a certain time that he needs to pay me?
We do give a 30-day window, and it's hard for us to control when that money comes in, but I would suggest to Mr. Berry that, if you can make life easier for your children, I think that's going to also benefit you. So you need to try and be cooperative so that we can move this matter forward. Otherwise, you might be seeing this court a lot more than you'd like to, because I don't want to release this case until we have things in a good, in a good setting. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss both of you until February the 2nd, again at 8:30. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Okay, if you could both turn on your cameras so that I could get you sworn in. Okay, raise your right hands, please, and Mr. Benjamin, turn off the mute. Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to present, oops, I have to make sure, okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes. Your Honor, if I could briefly update the court. Since the update was sent to the court, there has been a payment made on January 2nd in the amount of $401.50. He paid that directly to DCSS.
Great, okay. Now still we seem to be at about 50% of what the child support amount is. Now, Mr. Benjamin, is this your first payment for January, and you have intention of making a second payment?
I do, but I actually thought I paid it on the 31st of December using a card. So I guess it didn't go over until January. So yeah.
Okay, so you intended actually that go towards completing your December amount? Okay. And so you are going to make 2 payments in January?
Yep, that's my goal.
Okay. Okay, and Ms. Benjamin, are you receiving your monies?
I am receiving monies, Your Honor. But
Okay.
the only reason that I'm bringing this to the court is because it's been sporadic payment, and it's been sporadic through the year 2023, and it just only appeared that once I filed this application that there was payment, and that the last payment prior to me filing was September of 2023. So my issue is that, you know, it only happens when there's, you know, involvement with the courts and things of that nature. And, you know, there's no communication as to why he's not paying. He doesn't communicate with me. I think he has blocked me on all platforms. So I'm really, you know, not sure what, you know, what's going on in that matter. I understand that Mr. Benjamin is self-employed, and you know, we all are going through hardships, and I understand that, but a little communication goes a long way. And you know, I have 2 children that I'm caring for solely on my own, without, you know, the assistance of Mr. Benjamin. And I just need him to be a willing participant. And also with visitation, you know, even with him not doing visitation, I know this is not your platform either, Judge Scott, but, you know, when you're not doing visitation, you know, that also puts the strain on me because he's not getting the children. He hasn't physically had our children since 2020. And, you know, that also can be a financial burden on me if I have the children 100% of the time. So those are my concerns. And again, I'm willing to work with Mr. Benjamin if he communicates with me, but that has not been the case. He has not been compliant.
Okay, so I know, Mr. Benjamin, that you heard what was being said. I take it that this was through a divorce. How old are the children, Ms. Benjamin?
My daughter just turned 16 January 3rd, and my son is 9.
Okay. 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 So Mr. Benjamin, you know, especially for that son, you know how much he needs you. So you really, you know, if you can, you should try to make an effort to follow the visitation schedule and see if you can get him. The 16-year-older we have no control over. Once they turn 14, honestly, they probably don't want to visit much with either of you, but you know, but we do what we can.
Your Honor, just to counter that, that I actually made another payment in November, and with as far as it being sporadic, I realized that just like how I made the payment at the end of the month, where the payment will roll over to the following month, I found that out in October. And so at that point, I realized, because I was making payments every month, and it would be for the full amount. So it would carry over to where I realized once it was made known to me that that was the case. So that's where it may appear to be sporadic. As far as children, and again, I know this is not your jurisdiction, but just in all honesty, that's not true. I stay in contact with my kids, and every time that I do make an arrangement to meet with my kids, it's always at the last minute that either they have plans or I have to speak with her. And before that, there was never an issue with us being able to, you know, make plans, you know, with the kids. They have their own phones. So I would communicate in that way with them. And, you know, there's no way in the world, and she knows this, that I would go 4 years without seeing my kids. That is definitely not the case. And she knows that. And as far as the court, as far as court goes, I mean, this is the first time we've been in court since January of 2020. So it's not a situation where she has to get court involved and all of that. It's just that now she just decided to go ahead and do this. So as far as communication goes between she and I, that I don't feel is really necessary unless it's something pertaining to the children. But anything outside of that, you know, but I am making my payments. And like I said, I did make a payment in November as well as December. So. Okay.
I just ask that you cooperate because it is important for the children to see you acting civilly towards one another. It makes a big difference.
I definitely agree, but you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. And what is my first Friday in March, please, Miss Lanier?
That will be, your first Friday will be March the 1st.
March the 1st. Okay, so I'm going to reset you to then, and just so that I can keep an eye on things. I hear what you're saying, and I don't doubt whatsoever that the court it takes us a minute also to process money, especially when it comes in at the end of the month. It's very likely it it could fall over into the next month. But I just want to have an opportunity to observe that. And hopefully if, if the monies are being paid as arranged, then hopefully we'll be able to dismiss this matter then. Okay?
Judge, can I ask one question?
Yes.
In regards, I don't know if medical insurance is also a part of this jurisdiction. But again, he is obligated to pay medical support or keep medical insurance on our children. And he hasn't had that since November 15 of 2023. I'm sorry, 2022. So I'm not sure if I need to take this matter to a superior court for
No,
other.
I think Miss Arena Camarillo, she can update us on that. What is his status with medical?
It's going to be that he's got to get it if it's available at a reasonable percentage of his employment. So he would need to get with DCSS regarding how much he's earning, what percentage the plan is offered at, and then if it's available at that percentage of his income, then he's ordered to get it.
Okay. So with the divorce decree being that
if there's a divorce decree, it's different. It's whatever y'all's terms were. I'm assuming it was one of our orders. It's whatever the terms in your plan are. Typically, it's got to be a reasonable rate. But if yours just said he's got to get it no matter what, then I will say, that he's got to get it no matter what. If he's unable to do it, it's hard to enforce that.
Okay.
I have insurance through the health marketplace, and the kids actually qualify for Peach Care. So I don't know, how that's working, but that's what they qualify for. Because I actually tried to get them under my plan, but with her being the custodian, I wasn't able to just do it under mine. So that's the notice that I got, is that they are qualifying for Peach Care.
Well, then I would work together via email to move forward on getting the kids insured. But you've got to, Mr. Benjamin, if it's your responsibility, you've got to reach out to her, and you want to do that in writing so that it's documented that you're making that attempt.
Thank you.
Via email, you know what I mean? So that it shows you're saying, this is what I need to get it set up.
Okay. And I'll also follow up on that at our next hearing as well, so that we can make sure that everything is closed out in this matter. Okay, so
what date? I'm sorry, Judge.
Oh, it's going to be March the 1st.
And also, am I able to update my information, because I actually just came across this notification just the other day, and I just happened to check because the company that I was contracting with, I no longer contract with, and I just so happened to check my email, and for some reason, all of my notifications have been going to it was a bogus email when I checked with child support to see why I haven't been receiving any notifications. And even with this email, I would have missed this court case today had I not just randomly gone in to check that. So how do I go about, because my information as far as on the app, that has been updated. I spoke to a representative to do that, but for whatever reason, I'm not receiving communications. And I know that it could have been, a bigger issue had I not randomly gone in to check the old email that I have. So is there a way to make sure that the court has the right information to make sure that
Absolutely. If you could just go on the chat with Attorney Arena Camarillo.
Well, Your Honor, I think he's questioning if the court has the right information.
Oh,
He updated it with us, but I think he needs to be with your staff for that.
Okay, so Ms. Lanier, if you could get on the chat with her, we can verify and correct whatever is going on with that email.
Okay, definitely.
Okay.
Mr. Benjamin, I just sent you an email. I sent you a chat.
I got it.
Can you respond to that, please? Thank you.
Yes, I can.
So will we be notified on, is this going to be Zoom meeting for March 1st?
Yes, it is a Zoom, and do they get a second notification? But, we are, providing you with notice now as well.
Okay, and will we use the same information, the meeting link that we use now for today to get into the Zoom?
I believe it gets updated, but let me just let Ms. Lanier finish, and then she can answer that.
I'm finished. Thank you. To answer your question, Ms. Benjamin, you will get a mail notification as well as like I did this time, an email
Okay.
to remind you of your Zoom hearing, as well as Mr. Benjamin. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Lanier. I appreciate it.
No problem. And Mr. Benjamin, I did put down, notated your correct email address. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your cooperation, both of you, and we will see you on March the 1st.
One
Thank
more
you, Dean
question,
Scott.
Your
Oh.
Honor. One more question. If by
Sure.
chance something comes up to where, you know, I may not be able to attend, how soon would I be able to let you all know?
Well, we want you to let us know as soon as you know, so
Oh,
that, you know, we can, you know, make plans for that.
yeah, because the reason why I ask is that I know today would have been one of those days, and I just didn't want to put it off because I actually, my mom is in ICU, and I was trying to get to her because she's having a surgery this morning. So I just wanted to know
Okay.
in the event that, you know, what would the window be, because I wasn't sure if I was able to even, you know, change this date today.
Okay. And with issues like that, please just call us, okay? You know,
Okay.
we're you know, will understand.
Okay. I
Okay?
just
And
wanted to make
sorry to
sure.
hear that.
No,
Okay.
thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Judge
Okay.
Scott. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Mr. Carr and Ms. Davenport, can I have both of you raise your right hands, please? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Ms. Davenport. If you could remove the mute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So in this case, I do show that there was a payment, but it was only of $50 in December. And the payments prior to that were very sporadic. So, Mr. Carr, can you tell me why it is that your payment of $264 plus 50 towards the arrearage is not being made?
Because, well, it's not an excuse, but I'm currently not working. Actually in the process of fixing that situation as we speak.
Well, it seems to have been going on for quite some time now because we
Yeah,
really
and
haven't
I
had.
just got cleared by the doctor for me to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so I mean, you know, of course I have people in the background telling me to quit doing this and quit doing that, but they don't know my situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I am working on that. I have a job set up with Thomas Concrete. I'm waiting on the class to start for my CDL, which was supposed to start in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, I am looking for something to, you know, hold me over so I can make more deposits towards my child support.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. So about how much time do you feel that would help you to get to where you need to be?
that I mean, I don't know. I'm trying, like I'm on my way to a job fair now that the fatherhood sent me the
Mm-hmm.
information to. So that starts at 12, so I should be there in time. So I mean,
Okay. Okay. I'm willing to be a little lenient with you because I do see that right now your arrearage is only at right around $2,000, and I'm sure it's because you had made a significant payment, you know, last year to help with the child support. But I can only be but so lenient. We do need to make sure that you know, that these children are receiving consistent support. So I am going to reset you to the March 1st calendar. I want you to go ahead and still make every effort to pay that $264 every month. But by March the 1st, I expect that you have resolved your situation so that we can get back into, a regular routine of paying child support. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm doing this at the sacrifice of Miss Davenport, who I'm sure is not happy about it, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of time because I know that if you get accepted into one of those CDL programs, it's going to definitely make things better for the future. And I know that it makes things harder for her now, but if you can make it through that, it's going to be better in the long run.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I've already been accepted. I pretty much have the job, but it's the fact that the classes haven't started yet.
Right, right. And I know that those take a little while as well. So I'm trying to be, realistic about that. Okay, so I'm going to put you down for March the 1st. And again, I want you to make every effort to stay up on your child support as much as you can while you're going through that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And are you going to work with me, Miss Davenport?
I'm trying, Your Honor, because every time that boy
No.
come to court, Your Honor, you always let him go. But you gotta realize I'm the one suffering trying to take care of the baby. And
I
been doing
understand.
that for 18 years.
Believe me.
By
I
myself,
believe
Your
me.
Honor.
Believe me, I do understand. I don't want you to think for one moment that I take it lightly, but I just want to get things on the right track so that you don't find yourself doing even more work, because my other alternative is to have him incarcerated. And I guarantee you things go downhill from there because it goes to another court and then monies have to be paid towards probation fees, and that's just less money left, for the child. Okay?
But when he come to court, Your Honor, you ought to make it better for both of us. Because like I said, I've been doing this all by myself for 17 years. And I'm
No, I
tired, Your
understand.
Honor. I'm tired. I done had a heart attack and everything. And I'm trying, now I'm in the process of getting put out of my apartment and still can't get no benefit from nobody.
Okay, so you hear this, Mr. Carr. You
Yes,
really
ma'am.
need to you're gonna have to speed it up because Miss Davenport is suffering here. So let's go ahead and make every effort so that we can get things back on track. Okay, so I'm gonna
Yes.
dismiss both of you, and March the 1st is the return date. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome and good luck to you. Okay. Position number 4, let's see. Okay, there we go. Miss Reese, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Have you heard at all from Mr. Gilliard?
No, I have not.
Okay, and the last payment that you received was in September?
Trying to think.
We show a payment of $88.
That's in 2020, Your Honor.
Yeah, I was gonna say it should be
my
about
goodness.
2020.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yes, that's a long time ago. Oh, so have you heard from Mr. Gilliard at all during this long span of time?
I spoke to him via text somewhere, maybe August or September. And then I want to say maybe the last time he answered the phone for me was March of, was that March? Maybe March of 2023.
Oh, and do you know whether he's working?
He's an entrepreneur. He owns his own business.
And I'm showing, in 2021, an additional child was born, right? So that's after that last payment?
Jade.
Okay.
2000, May of 2021.
Okay.
And I mean, that wasn't a good situation. I kind of was left at the hospital and we've had sporadic bits of communication since then. It seemed like he had changed he's very religious around that time period because it had been years since we had spoken to each other. Then we had the last baby and I literally was left at the hospital. And then from there, it would just be bits of communication. here and there. I talked to him around my birthday in March. Like we spoke on the phone actually. And then he hasn't answered the phone. And then sometime after that, I got a hold of his mom and she facilitated, he would respond back to me via text, but it was just that day. I haven't gotten a response from phone calls, text messages, or anything since then.
Okay, because I am inclined, Ms. Reese, to just take out a warrant. I mean, there's not much I can do. This is a long time. And
I
you
was
have
hoping that
another
he was going to
child?
get on the phone today.
Yeah. So you have reason to feel that he may be getting messages from the court, that he is aware?
He's aware.
He is.
He's aware. His family's aware. It's just he is very invested in just, I don't know if it's me. I think it's just to ignore me and by way the kids are getting hurt. I'm really not sure of his motivation. I don't want to speak for him.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
he's
but
not
we've got $27,000 worth of arrearage here, and he has a very low child support amount, $204. I mean, he really should be, able to pay that. So I can put it on another calendar and we can try again, but I'm more inclined to just have you come on in and sign the arrest warrant because he's not making any effort whatsoever. You
Yeah,
tell me.
Unfortunately, I think that might be my only option. He's very well off. He's very financially stable, extremely financially stable. So this is just a desire to behave like this. And I've done everything I can. I'm very neutral with him. I try to contact him. if you just want to talk through the children, because the oldest child is 16, he's not responding to anything. So I don't know what else to do at this point.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and I see you've already signed a warrant for us in the past?
In the past, yes.
Okay. And is that, I don't know how old it is, Miss Lanier. Is it still, if it's still good, then we'll just move it forward.
Yes, it's still good.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay, then. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and move that warrant forward. It sounds as if we probably had gotten to this point with him before in the past, but he still hasn't done anything. So we'll just see what happens from here, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome and good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Greer and Miss Hiles. Okay, I see both of you. Miss Hiles, if you could unmute and both of you raise your right hands. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I could update the court, there has been an update. The money continues to come out via income deduction order. On January 2nd, we received an additional payment via wages in the amount of $310.20.
$310.20. Okay. And that would definitely take care of the current support amount.
If I can speak, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
So, unfortunately, I lost my my job. I was terminated on July 14th, 2023. I was not able to gain employment or what do you call it? Unemployment. I did start working again on October the 30th. And I do have a letter stating, and I was in contact with DHS throughout the whole process, right? So in the 4 months, I contacted them, let them know I was unemployed. And I did contact them on my own voluntarily. And I have a letter stating on November the 6th to deduct income, wages. And so the next payment she received was on November the 20th for $310.
Okay, yes, and I am showing that. So it does look as if the income deduction order is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Ms. Howes, you are receiving these monies?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what we do in these situations when we see that it's working is we do typically dismiss. So I'm going to go ahead and go ahead, Mr. Greer.
So I've been through this process with Miss Howes in Cobb County 4 times. And in Cobb County, they told her to stop doing this, filing this abandonment warrant because they're wasting the time with the court. When I lose my job, my payment history has been significant. If I'm employed, I pay. This is wasting my time. I got off work at 6 a.m. this morning, and I have to be at work in less than 7 hours. So this is a recurring event, and it's egregious to the court system that she continuously to do it. Now she's doing it in DeKalb County. I just asked the court to just take this in consideration for my time and my care for my children, because it does affect my work abilities and affects my life, really.
Okay, well, hopefully it's not a situation where you're changing jobs,
Well, it
frequently.
was 3 years she received. I was
Right.
there 3 years. I was just
Right.
was unemployed for 4 months, and now I'm here. So
Can I respond, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, I do take him to child abandonment when he goes over 30 days. He has no proof because Cobb County has never told me to stop filing. I'm not sure where he's getting that information. Doesn't even sound like it's legally I can file once you go 30 days past not payment. So every time he loses a job, it goes, I give him 30 days. And as you can see, when he stopped paying in July, I didn't even file anything until August. So I moved from Cobb to DeKalb County, and I have to file in DeKalb County. So if he keep continuing to not pay child support for over 30 days, it's going to be filed. He only starts paying when I do child abandonment.
Right. And I can't do anything to stop that. And that you have $27,000 of arrearages that kind of speaks for itself. So,
well,
we can't.
and I'm paying it. That's part of my payment.
Okay.
It's due to the arrearage.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm doing
Well,
everything.
we just have to stay on top of it. But I am going to dismiss this matter now. Okay.
I got a question though, Judge.
Sure. What is it?
Okay. Because I just got into DeKalb County, and I tried DeKalb County works because he's just started making payments, but he has not did visitation at all with my child since May of 2023. Do I have to file contempt charges in DeKalb County or in Cobb County when it comes to him not even doing the visitation to come getting the child? Because I read it, you have to go where you first filed it at, or do I go where I'm living at?
You haven't, I'm sorry, who did the existing order?
Cobb County.
Cobb County.
It's a divorce decree. And
right.
it also states that she has the right to say visitation with supervision, which we can go down through that road if you want to, but we're not. We can go down through that road. I'm not fighting.
Okay, but let me just explain something to you, Ms. Howes. The court is not going to force visitation. We'll force child support. We'll force other things, but the court just, if somebody doesn't want to visit with the children, we have to leave it at that because, that's just something that the court doesn't do because if for whatever reason, if he's saying that that's something he doesn't want to do, if we forced it and something happened to your child, we would be responsible. So that I just want to, let you know that. Okay. 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 So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this and both of you are free to go and we do not have any future court hearing dates. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Position number 7, James Harper, Raven Bailey. And okay, I need both of you to have your faces on camera and unmuted. Okay. So let me have you both raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I am showing that we didn't get anything in the month of December. Did you send something in December,
Well,
Mr. Johnson?
Ms. Huffman, the Alabama still is taking stuff out. It's still set up in Alabama. The child support is set up in Alabama still. And shortly after our last meeting, I stopped.
Okay.
I stopped working. I lost my job. So right now I'm currently at an interview shadowing.
Okay. Okay. And I do show that you paid $1,400 in November. And what are your prospects for employment, Ms. Huffman?
Well, I travel. I'm not sure if I'll get this job or not, but I'm just shadowing.
Okay.
That's part of the requirement for getting these kind of jobs. I have to shadow.
Okay. Okay. So we don't want to do anything to harm that. So I'm not going to make it very lengthy. I'm going to put you back on the calendar for February the 2nd. And do you think you can make any payments, for January?
I don't know since I haven't been working since our last case, but the last trial, but Alabama still, I don't know, Alabama's still taking chunks. I haven't received a tax return in maybe over 2 years. So and I keep getting these letters saying that they took money from that. I just got a letter like a month ago that it's still open in Alabama.
Well, the most important thing is going to be, though, your current employment. So I'm going to need you to put a little bit more energy into job hunting so that we can get things back on track. Okay, because the money in the past appears to be very sporadic. And, you've managed to pay large sums. So I think that has kept your arrearage down. But it's never, from what I have here, it's never really been consistent. And we do need consistency so that Mr. Johnson has the ability to know when he's going to get the money so that he can apply it towards the expenses of the children.
It's still going, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's still going through Alabama. That case is still open, to my knowledge.
And now, what information do you have, Ms. Arena Camarillo, about Alabama?
It's well, they might have the order. This case is now set up through the UFSA office. That's the one enforced by the DA's office in DeKalb County. So payments need to be made to that office, and they will then send the payments to Alabama. Alabama has asked that Georgia enforce the order. So she needs to contact Georgia DCSS and start to get in touch with her agent that's in Georgia now.
What
They
agent?
then send the money to the other state. You have a UFSA case, an interstate case.
And what agent are you referring to?
So when you call DCSS, you'll Google DCSS will pop right up. You're going to call that number, and then they'll get you in touch with who you need to be in touch with.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, because you might not have been talking to the right person at this point, but most
I actually went down
importantly,
there. I went down there. That was like last week, and I got that information from the place.
Here in
I mean, it looks like they've
Georgia?
got an arrest order here in Georgia as well. It looks like, I'm trying to see if that's what's happening here. They've got some notes here. Okay, it says that they're going to enforce that once that's done. You had a purge of $1,500 set. I mean, that's going to be through the Georgia office. So have you ever contacted them? I mean, I can keep looking through this, but are you aware, does that ring some bells for you on who your agent is in Georgia, or the office that you're supposed to be communicating with?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, So you've
Well,
I mean, I'm
I
showing
think
you
that they
communicated
have
with
had no contact, so that's probably why things are escalating. So I think you better reach out to that Georgia office as soon as you hang up on this Zoom call, because things may get to a point of no return if they aren't hearing from you at all.
Okay. Do you have a certain,
Okay.
just Google it, or do you have a certain
Yeah.
number?
I can give it to you in your chat. 1 second, I can do that for you. Because yes, it sounds like, to be frank, they keep being told by you that it's Alabama, and they keep explaining that Georgia is enforcing the order. So you just have to, it's hard to understand, but it's basically just Georgia is enforcing the order. Alabama still has an open case. They're communicating with Georgia. They've said to Georgia, hey, mom lives there. Please enforce the order for us since mom lives there. So you have an agent here and everything like that, okay?
Oh, okay.
And they're who is going to enforce it. So I'm trying to
My
pull.
address is in Alabama, though, just for the record. My permanent address is in Alabama.
Where are you right now at this job? Are you in Georgia or Alabama?
Their contracts to be closer to my son.
Where you're standing right now, is it in Georgia or Alabama?
Georgia.
Okay. So that's going to be where you're living right now. That's where they're going to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have that number that you need?
No, I've got to Google it. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
1-800 number. I want to make sure I get her the right one, and it's taking me a second for some reason. It should be much faster. That computer's frozen.
I'm sorry. Give me one. I'm sorry.
I'm going to put it in the chat for you. Okay. I'll put it just to you. If you are ready, 1 second. There you go. You should have it now.
Okay. Just gonna screenshot it.
Okay.
Okay, so I have both of you scheduled for February the 2nd, so we can get an update in terms of what is going on in this case. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. You are dismissed. Position number 10.
Your Honor, a more recent payment has been made. Mr. Moore paid on December 29th, $151.50. He paid directly to the DCFS office.
Okay. Now, I don't know what to do with this because consistently these payments are low. And let me see, I mean, I don't know what his earning capability is, but it really is, that's not quite where he needs to be. Okay, so Mr. Moore, can you turn on your camera, please? Okay,
Yes, ma'am. How you
Mr.
doing?
Moore. I'm good. Ms. Watkins, if you could turn off your mute and raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so, Mr. Moore, I was just commenting, your payments are consistently low. Your child support obligation is $429 plus 86 toward the arrearage, and every
80.
payment that I've seen has been in the $100 range.
Yes, ma'am. The guy who I'm working for, so my employment, he said they only wanted me to file my own stuff, so they don't want to do that like a 10-9 employee, like my own contractor. So right now I have to send the money. I'm sending the money in right now.
Right, but you know what your child support amount is, so why aren't you sending in your child support amount?
I'm sending I'm sending the money in. I within the last month I sent. I know I did 3 payments. We did a
No,
payment last night. And
no, we're only showing one payment for January in the amount of $151.50. Actually, I'm not even sure. Is that January or was that December? Miss Arena Camarillo, the
Most-
151.50.
The most recent one was, there was December 1st, and then there was the recent payment of December 29th.
Okay, so we still don't even have a full payment for December, and we have nothing for January.
Yeah, I did Thursday. I'm able to do it on Thursday, so I sent money in. I sent money in yesterday when I got the funds. So
Okay, but even if
I'm
okay, let's not even look at December, because maybe you did pay some additional money in December. I show no payments in November, no payments in October, and one payment for $126.50 in September.
I did more payments than that.
Well, you're going to have to go into child support and straighten that out if you have receipts indicating that you have paid more. But are you making payments every Thursday, or do you have any additional children other than with Miss Watkins?
I have 5 kids.
And are any of the others on child support?
Well, one of them they took me off. One of them they supposed to take me off, but I don't know how that's working with that because he just graduated, so he stays with me, but he just graduated, and it just never went off. The child support just never. He been with me for the last 5 years, but they never stopped the child support. They said it was some fee. I had sent the fee in, like it was 60, whatever.
Okay, hold on. Let me just have our attorney look that up. Can you tell me if there's money being split?
I didn't see it being split, but let me look at, he has one other active case.
And Tasha Wideman.
Where the custodial parent is Miss Weidman.
Yeah, he was with me for 5 years. He been with me for 5 years, but they just never.
Yeah,
I've been trying to take it off.
All the money is going to Miss Watkins first because she has a minor. Miss Weidman has a child who's emancipated, so that child's only going to get the arrears, which are only $2,311. She hasn't gotten money since 2022 because Miss Watkins' case hasn't been paid in full. Like the monthly obligation hasn't been met.
So the problem, Mr. Moore, is that you're not paying enough money. And, you are responsible for paying $429 every month. And we are nowhere close to that amount.
Can I not work? If I'm able to make the payment, can I not, like the reels? That's super hard right now with the kids. With this,
we're not even asking for arrears because that's not through this court. I'm only asking for current support. Your current support is $429 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what can you do to get, to that amount? Because even if you made 2 payments a month, you still wouldn't be at the 429 unless you increase these payments.
I'm gonna try to. What I'm doing now is I'm obligated because he's not gonna put it in the system. I'm gonna just send 120. What I'm able to send when I get these checks from them, I can send 120 on the Thursdays. And
now, is this going to be every Thursday?
Yes, ma'am. That's how I'll try to send it on Thursday or the Friday morning. How the money come in, Zelle it to me.
Okay, so I'm putting down $120 every Thursday, which that would put you at somewhere around $480.
What the money? you know what all the money will go then? Do I have to keep paying for the other child support too, or how is that gonna work?
You still have, those obligations are still going to be there, but the majority of the money is gonna go to Miss Watkins because her child is, still a minor.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got three minors.
Okay. Well, it only counts if if their custodial parent has them on child support. Okay, so if you do the $120 every Thursday, we should be okay. So I'm going to set you down for a reset on March the 1st so that we can see whether you're, holding to this, commitment of making payments every Thursday. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. If All right, so I told you 120. Well, if it's 110 to 120 every Thursday, am I still gonna be okay at
I
that
mean,
point?
I'm gonna consider everything, but we just need to get a lot closer to this $430 payment. I think if you did 110, you would still be there, but it's gonna depend on how consistent you are. Okay, so let's,
I'm gonna make sure I focus on getting it done every week. I'll make sure.
okay then.
But
Okay.
I just I'm gonna only continue to pay it, how I've been doing it through the system. So instead of worrying about the employer.
Okay, and I know it's not pleasant, but if you have, this number of children, you might need to consider getting a second job because you really need to, stay on top of this and provide support for each of your children. Okay, but I'm gonna, but this is the only one that I'm required to review at this point in time. So we're gonna get back on March the 1st, and I will evaluate it at that time. Okay, and is that gonna be okay, Ms. Watkins?
That's fine. I'm just trying, I guess I'm concerned about what happens at that point because we've been going through this for almost 8, 9 months now. And it hasn't been consistent. And I just need some help at this point.
Okay. 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 Okay, then understood. And hopefully then we'll see where we're at on March the 1st. So both of you are dismissed. Okay, and if you can unmute, we'll go ahead and get sworn in. You could raise your right hands, please. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Savage, I can't hear you.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so first of all, I don't have any payments. Have you made any payments towards this child support case, Mr. Savage?
No, I haven't.
And why is that?
I ain't got no job.
And what are you doing to correct that situation?
Looking for a job.
Okay, and how long have you
He
been
working.
going?
He said he at work right now. I said I was in the work. I'm in the house.
You told me you was
Don't
working.
start
You
that.
said you're
Don't
out
start
of
that. We
town.
talking.
You said you're out of town
Okay.
working. So how you don't have a job?
I know.
Okay, wait, we're not going to go back and forth. So, Mr. Savage, remember, you are under oath. Are you working a job?
I'm not working.
Okay, and how and when are you going to correct this?
I'm trying to correct it now. I'm a student.
Okay.
I've been at school.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with child support. If you're a student, then you need to work a job alongside.
I'm trying to find something.
Okay, so when do you anticipate being able to work a job and start providing child support?
As soon as possible.
Okay, well, I'm going to put you right back on the calendar for February the 2nd. So that's not going to give you a lot of time. So what I'm trying to tell you is you're not looking for your ideal job. You are looking for a job so that you can
He
start
has
paying
a
child
job. He
support.
told me he can't get him because he's working. So if he's not working, then why he can't get him?
And that I can't answer for you,
Can you
but
ask him that?
okay, so Mr. Savage, it's my understanding that
answer
you
that.
told her that you could not take care of the child because of your job situation.
I said I'm looking for a job.
No, he said he's working 7 days a
Okay,
week. He has
so
no days off,
yeah,
so he
and
can't get
I
him.
can't, yeah, I can't get into that. But what we are going to require, Mr. Savage, is that you do need to get a job and you need to start paying child support. And I need to have, let's see, 198 plus 25. So, you have a very low child support amount. So I hope you appreciate that. But you need to have $223 towards child support by February the 2nd. You understand?
I can do
Okay.
that.
Okay, so let's take this seriously because I don't think that Miss Carter would have any problem with signing that arrest warrant. So I don't
I
want
know she
PC
trying to
to
sign
see
it.
you.
So
Right.
what
So I don't.
happens at this point with the warrant? Because now he playing. He told me he's working. He's telling you he's not working. He
Well,
must
she
be getting
told me
paid
to
under
pay
the
it. I'm gonna
table.
pay it, man. Why you
Listen, I'm
doing
not
all that?
talking to you.
Okay,
What happens
okay.
now
Why
with the
you
warrant?
doing all that?
Because
No,
you just sat here and told me you
okay,
working 7
Miss
days a week.
Carter, I don't want to have to mute you and shut you down, but we're not
I'm
going to be able
asking
to
you
go
a
back and
question. I
forth.
wasn't talking to him. What happens
Okay,
now with
so
the warrant?
let me answer. We do not have a warrant right now. If you listen to the opening, we commonly reset cases to give the non-custodial parent the opportunity to make right and pay their child support. So that's what's going to be happening this month. On February the 2nd, if he has not paid any child support and it appears that he's taking it as casually as he's taking it today, then I will have you come in, sign the warrant, and we will move things forward from then. Okay, but I am sure that knowing what the consequence is going to be, I think Mr. Savage is going to come up with the money.
So February 2nd, he has to make a payment how? And how much?
He is going to make a payment to child support in the amount of $223. Let me see, this order started, that would be for December. No, I'm sorry, that would be for January. And then he needs to be prepared to start making that next payment for February. Okay, and we might have to put him right back on again for my next calendar if he still is taking it very lightly.
So if he makes the payment February and then doesn't make another payment, then we have to start the process all over.
No, I'm not going to dismiss this case because he makes one payment.
Okay.
We'll just be back on the calendar again so that I can observe. And then the other thing is payments are one thing, but I need to see that he actually gets a job. And so we're going to be here together until he can prove that he is gainfully employed and we can start getting payments from the employer. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to dismiss both of you and I will see you on February the 2nd.
Your Honor, an update on the position that is about to come in is there was a recent payment made by Mr. Scott on January 2nd in the amount of $81.38. He made it directly to DCSS.
Okay.
I made what? How much of a payment?
$81.38 payment. Does that sound familiar?
No, it was 300.
Do you have other child support obligations?
That's
Are
supposed to
there
be
other
canceled.
children?
Yes. Yes, but that's supposed to be canceled. I paid that canceled payment and everything.
Okay, let me see what child support has.
I'll have to look up
with
his other
regard.
cases really quick. When did you pay the 300? Did you pay it all on December 24th, or have you paid it after that?
Yeah, I paid it on December. I paid the 300 and I paid
When did
the
you pay the
cancellation.
300? What was the date that you paid the 300?
I'm not for sure. I would have to look on my email. But it was in December, and I made the 300 payment, and I paid the cancellation fee for the other child support case.
1 second.
And was that in addition to the 300?
Yeah, I paid the 300 plus remember the cancellation fee was like $23 or something like that.
That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that your other case with Ms. Carnella Cerquiera,
Yes.
$195 went towards her case.
See that now I don't know why that went towards that, and her case was closed.
So her case is not showing up as closed. You were advised on December 29th when you called DCSS that the case was active. You were told you'd have to pay.
No, I wasn't advised.
Let me finish if you don't mind. You were advised that you have to pay the closure fee. So what, hold on. So what I would do if I was you, I do see what you're saying to be true, that you were told there was a closure fee and that somehow it appears that it's been confusing to them how the money, what it was for. I don't know if it all came in through the portal or as one thing, but you need to call them today. Because what they did was they did not close the case. It's been applied to both cases, but you just need to call them. It'll be a simple thing for them to fix. They'll see it in their own notes that they need to fix it.
Okay. And I thank you. I thank you for explaining that to the judge, because I actually paid the 300.
Yeah, it looks like he did pay it, Your Honor. I do see that he was told that it was like $20 would go towards closing the case. However, what I'm imagining is that then when the funds come through, they don't go back and look at the documentation. Like the closure has to be like a specific, come to the office with that money, and then it gets applied to that. But now he just needs to call, and he just needs to give both cases and say, look, on one of the cases, it was supposed to close out that account and it didn't. So let me know what, they should be able to fix it.
Okay. I thank you for explaining that to the judge, because I actually, tried to do what I was supposed to do.
Okay. Okay. And I appreciate that, but we do need to get this straightened out, because the problem is the one who suffers is Miss Bowler, because she doesn't get her full amount of money at this point. So we need to get it resolved so that moving forward, things are correct. So are you paying this $300 every month?
Yes, I will be paying it every month.
Okay. Okay. So do you
But
already?
I do need, is it a way that y'all can send me out a form so I can get it reduced?
No, what you need to do is you need to go into child support this time with that $300 and give those instructions, and that way you will have your receipts indicating exactly what you instructed them to do, and make sure that it's correct, so that you can make sure that that other case gets closed at this point. And and then to make sure that Miss Bowler gets the $300 that she's entitled to. Okay.
See, and that's what I've been trying to do this whole time. Like when I was paying child support, they was taking from her to the other kids. That's why she closed the case. The other baby mama, she closed the case for that to happen, but it seemed like it's never happening the way that I'm trying to do.
And I think child support is right. I think you have to go in there physically, because what's happening is that you're giving instructions to one person, and then days later, the money arrives and it goes to a different person who isn't looking at the notes. So they're just going by our typical standard procedure with regards to child support money, which it gets split amongst the mothers. That's why she said, you go in there with this next $300, give those instructions so that moving forward, you don't have to worry about this happening anymore. Because what you're depending on is you're depending on the notes being linked to the money, and it's not happening. You know, you need to go in there and make sure that that happens.
Yeah, because I had called them and I had explained to them on the phone, and they told me, you know, to make the separate payments. Like I paid on two different cases. I paid on the other children's mother. I paid on their case, which was supposed to close that case, and then I paid the 300 to her case.
Understand that when the money gets to them, they're looking out for all the mothers, not just one. So you have to be there in person to give those instructions, or else they will continue to look out for all the mothers.
Okay.
Okay.
They told me different, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
And I think, you know, you may be telling one person something, but then it's a different person who's handling the money, because it's all disconnected. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and make that $300 payment this time, but I want you to take it in. And then I am going to see you again on February the 2nd, 2024, so that we can make,
Ma'am, do we really have to keep coming to court? And I promise I'll pay. I'm gonna make my payment.
I understand, but we have no way to, the same way the child support has problems putting things together when the person isn't there, the same thing happens with this court. If you are not here, we're going to have some kind of confusion, and that's why I prefer that you be here and we make sure that it happens correctly. And hopefully when you do it this next time, that's going to be it. I'm not trying to make you keep coming to court forever. I just want to make sure that things are appropriately closed and they go move forward, and then I don't make you come back in again. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to dismiss both of you for now, and I will see you on February the 2nd. Good luck to you.
Yeah, y'all gonna send me out a
You will get a notice from Miss Lanier. Yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
but in the meantime, you have to physically go into child support. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Both of you are dismissed.